Okay, stripe day. I'm gonna start small, get the hang of things, and try to get comfortable before I apply the larger or bigger stripes. But I've been on the phone with Graphic Express for, I call them every other day for questions before or leading up to this day. And although they got concise instructions, I still like to call for information. Let me show you all what we're working with today. What's the easiest of all of them to me, which is the rear bumper, and it'll give me a feel for applying them and some confidence. So I just unwrapped it. Well, I just brought it in and unwrapped it. It's been sitting up for months after I painted it. You can see it's extremely dusty, and where I had it at popped on it, kind of bent these up. They'll go back hopefully in place. When I guess when the sun hit, it should contour back in shape, but this thing is filthy. So we're gonna use some glass cleaner. Here's the solution we'll be using. So gonna clean it with some glass cleaner, and let me show you all the stripes. Got some scissors, measuring tape, and pencil. I got a white pencil as well. I gotta find it to write on this black. But we also got some tape, wherever it is. It's over here. Some 3M tape. But let's go to the back and show you all the stripes we're gonna start using, and we'll come back and clean this thing off. But the very first stripes we'll apply them here. You can't get these wrong. So they'll start like within this seam. You can see that seam there. I guess that's where they start at. And we'll try to start there. So there is some trepidation, but I love learning new things, and I'm not scared of a challenge. I accept all challenges, and I just don't want to screw things up. And if I mess up, I'll learn from me messing up. But hopefully everything should go as planned. Let's show you all the stripes we'll be working with. All right, so here's the stripes we'll be working with. And the section we're first starting off with is this section. I have to get my bearings on what goes where. I'll pause it here briefly just to say Graphic Express does a fantastic job packaging these things, as well as placing instructions in every packaging. Also in the packaging is included is the layout. I didn't see it until later, and I'll show that. Maybe not in this video. I may insert it here, but they did insert the layout here, so you know exactly where everything goes. But I missed it because it was stuck to the back of one of these sheets. But yeah, the layout is there of the entire setup, or the stripe placement. I just want to note that. There's some large stripes here, but this is what we're working with first. This is for the hatch. I think these are the same size. One is for the rear spoiler, and this is for the back bumper. This is what we're gonna work with first. You can see these, how it angles up on both sides. It's critical to how the bumper shape, that kind of will give us a reference or a gauge where to place them. And I'll be cutting here precisely, just from here across. So I need a ruler, got a pencil. This is the rear spoiler, beautifully painted. And yeah, one goes across there, but not worried about that yet. This is the first step for me, building some confidence. And like I've mentioned, I've called Graphic Express for the last few days. Just getting some tips and pointers before I tackle. And this is how I move with anything. Before I tackle these stripes, I can't mess up. You can see, look at when I bought these things. April 2024, 2020. So I think the warranty may be void now. I'm not sure, because I removed them out the tube they came in. I think it's over here somewhere. The tube right here. I removed them from this tube about almost a year ago, and let them lay flat out. Got the other ones over here. They've already kind of flattened out, but yeah, we got them nearly 5 years ago. And I'm not sure what they cost now, but look what I paid for them. So yeah, we can't afford to mess up anything. And got some very concise, detailed instructions. Also, there's something on the back of here as well, just kind of giving you even more information that's critical. So yeah, we don't need this, but this is what we need. These are our steps. So step one, let's get started. Step one, surface temperature. The surface temperature of the vehicle, well, we're working on the bumper, is to be no less than 60 degrees. It must maintain a temperature of at least 45 degrees for 48 hours after installation. So we're gonna check the temperature right now, and this is important. They couldn't stress enough about cleaning. Let's go check step one, and then we're gonna start cleaning. All right, step one, got the beam on there. So 89 degrees, and if you look at up here, right on cue, we're getting a breeze in here, so it's not hot, it's cool to the touch. So the temperature here is ambient and of course the room temperature basically. And yeah, we're gonna clean it off, so I'm not worried about anything. It feels cool to the touch, although it's reading right at 89 degrees. There's no hot sun blazing on. It's pretty cool in here. It's drafty. We get some wind circulation. So yeah, let's go to the next step. All right, we're here with the cleaning. Okay, it says wash the vehicle to remove the dirt, tree sap, or other foreign particles. We're not washing the vehicle. We read about the bumper. Use naphtha cleaner to remove wax, grease, tar, silicone, and old decals adhesive from the surface where the decal has been applied. We don't have to worry about that, but we are going to use some wax and grease remover. Clean the area 10 times. This is specific. We're going to follow the rules. Clean the area 10 times using a new cloth each time, so not to transfer the wax or silicone back on the vehicle. If you use tire or glass treatment products, you must clean extremely well because these products contain silicone and will keep decals from sticking properly. Look what they did in fine print. Rubbing alcohol, mineral spirits, or paint thinner will not properly remove wax and silicone and should not be used, and we're not going to use it. So let's go step two. We're going to clean it with some spray glass cleaner first to remove all the dirt and stuff, and then we're going to apply some wax and grease remover just for that area we're applying the decal to. Let's go do that right now. All right, let's get started. All right, we're pretty clean. We know there's no polish here, no wax, but we're gonna use some wax and grease remover still within that area. I showed you guys, you see how contour is there and there. We're still gonna put some wax and grease remover there. And using a different rag. This is the wax and grease remover that's in that sprayer. I bought this before I painted the car, and this has been my go-to. So this is what I'm using right here to wipe the bumper. Okay, I think we're pretty clean. We got everything off. Yeah, I think that's good. We may use a little of the solution, the Dawn solution, to clean up even further. Might as well, let's use a little bit of that now. Here are the towels that I'm using. I mentioned this in the last few videos. I got several boxes now of these. They was on sale for like $9 a box, and they are great. They're rewashable, reusable,
and our incredible microfiber cloth towels.
All right, I don't think we can get no cleaning that. This has been painted for some months, so not worried about anything that's been stored. It got some dust on it from sitting out, but it's been painted for months. So I think we're prepped for cleaning wise. And let me show y'all, if you never watched any of my previous videos, I can't boast enough about these grabber rags for detail. Got quite a few boxes of them on deck, just on standby. So we're just pulling cloths out as we go. So let's go measure and cut our decal out. Okay, we're on step 4 now. Let me show you all that process right now. We're on step 3. Let me show you all that, moving too fast. 1 tablespoon of Dawn Original dish liquid and 1 gallon of water. Look what it says. There's emphasis on this. No guessing, period. No substitutions, period. Put in wet solution in a very clean spray bottle. Okay, we're gonna do that right now. All right, step 4. Identify all stripe decal pieces. We've done that. Place into position using painter's tape to make sure all pieces fit properly. Make sure of proper placement and positioning. So this is the careful part. Let me get these cut out and let's make the camera. So I'll cut here, right on the point here. Let me get a ruler and I'm not gonna touch the bottom part, but we're gonna cut here so we can have exact placement of where we wanna go. Okay, got this ruler here. By the way, this is a 1930s or 40s ruler. I got a bunch of kind of old stuff like this. Very thick, look at this. You probably never heard of that code company before. Look at the 4-digit phone number. Pretty neat ruler. It's a yardstick, which is a yard is 36 inches, 3 feet. So look at where I'm gonna marking it before I cut it out. Some scissors, precisely.
While I'm making this precision cut, let me give you guys a heads up of exactly where I'm at with these decals. Here, like I mentioned earlier, some trepidation, just trying to figure out what works best for me and following instructions. That's very key and critical to the installation of these. I've never done this before in my life. And the next video that's coming out, giving you guys a heads up, is the hood. I figured after this, I didn't need to do a step-by-step. I just wanted to start getting these decals applied to the car. And the hood, I'll say this much. I almost messed up on the hood. Confidence was still a little shaky with the hood. But you guys will see how that turned out. And the next step-by-step I'm going to do will be the side graphics. And when I make it to that video, you guys are going to see my confidence through the roof. And it will look as if I've been applying decals for many years. When you see that video drop, the third video, it only took me 3 times to do this and get this down pat. To do it effortlessly now. Now I'm just having fun with it now, where I'm at mentally. And as you guys see, I'm cutting this out. That's critical to the installation of these decals as well. But I'll go in detail on the third video of me placing these decals. When I get to the door now, you'll see the title say step by step, and maybe a little bit boast in there, but I'm extremely confident now. I'm all the way there. I'm having fun now, and you guys are going to see the results of how I learned this in no time, next to no. I've always in my life been a very fast learner, and once you follow instructions and once you kind of get a feel for something, and you can kind of get it quickly, and I've always kind of been like that or ahead of the game. So just pay attention to these next few videos dropping. They're coming back to back to back to back to back. Got a lot of footage filmed, so quick heads up on that. But here, very timid, still kind of somewhat anxious, a little nervous, trying to figure out what works best for me. And you guys will see that in a second. That's pretty dead on. You can't get no better than that. We're riding under this lip. Under this lip. This is holding us here and here and here. All right, I think we're where we want to be at as far as placement. Let's go look at the next step. By the way, this is what comes with the kit. All right, let's go look at the next step. All right, next step, decal placement. With all decals or stripes taped into position, that's where we at. Installs painter's tape as a guide on bottom, top, or sides for alignment. Make a pencil mark to locate any side-to-side adjustments. This will make installing the stripes easy after it has been peeled apart and sprayed with wetting solution. All right, so this is what they want us to do. Mark. Let's go. Install in step 5. All right, we're in place. See when they curve over, smooth on the curve over, we're right where we need to be at on both sides. This is right there, a little tighter line, but it's right on the money. All right, let's go to step 6. I'll leave the tape there as our guide. One thing I didn't show here was make a pencil mark or transform a pencil mark from the decal to the tape itself as my guide so I can know exactly where to place the decal at. And still trying to figure out here, but now I know exactly what to do and how to approach.
All right, we're on number 6. Although it's not marked, it's telling us how to peel the decals. The application paper tape is on top and it's partially see-through. Hold decal so you can read it. The decal will stick to the top paper to be transferred to the vehicle. Okay, that's photo A right there. Photo B. Flip decal over so the heavy backing liner faces up and place on clean surface. The backing liner is now facing up. Start peeling the backing slowly apart, exposing the adhesive side of the decal. If the decal lifts, use thumb to rub the liner against the application tape and slowly try again. Remember, these are automotive graphics and a certain amount of care and handling is needed. Right there. I think we're pretty much got that done. Okay, number 7, wetting solution. Spray wetting solution on exposed adhesive of decal and vehicle surface. So both. You should use enough wetting solution on the adhesive side of the decal so that it is not sticky to touch. Rub your clean hand over the wetted adhesive to check slip and slide. Do not waste time. Immediately position the decal and squeegee completely into place. All right, there we go. All right, we gotta do something else. I gotta remove something. Okay, now we got our placement. See there, that's how it should be. That's the top of it with a pencil. Same as over here, top of it. We know where we goes here, there, and we align here and here as well.
So you see why I marked the pencil wet on top up there when all I had to do was make a mark right across the center of that tape and the decal. That's better than doing that. That's how you get your marks. That's how you get your perfect setting or perfect placement. When you take a pencil and run across the center between that tape and the decal itself, and when you see the next how-to come up and how flawless I do that one, you guys will see those marks and how detailed that video is going to be, even compared to this one. Extremely detailed video, just like this one, but even more detailed. But the pencil mark should be right off in the center of that decal and the tape on both the top and bottom, so to have perfect placement when you apply that decal back. So I didn't do that here. Still trying to figure it out. Just want to note that.
So now we can remove this and take it off. We know where it has to go. All right, let's we can take this off now. Put it over here. We can take this sticker off, this tape. All right, we use this tape for something. These products are expensive. We can reuse them, we're gonna reuse them. So let's put this up here somewhere for something. All right. Now we have our placement. We're gonna turn this over and peel this thing off, and we need our wetting solution so we can wet everything up, this up and that up. So let me peel this back and let's just go for it. Oh man, let's go for it, guys. Here we go. right, let's spray this. All right, let's mount the camera and let's go for it, guys. It is what it is at this point. Gotta start somewhere.
I made that section audible for a reason. If you notice it, I'm squeegeing too hard initially. I shouldn't be squeegeing that hard. And it should be a light squeegee until you put it in place, until you get the decal in place. And I'll tell you the reason why. If you get any air bubbles trapped in these decals when you're squeezing hard, you're pressing down on them, you can lock them in place. And you'll have to use the pin method because you want to go light to get in place. That allows that air bubble to slide out because it's not pressed on that firmly. So it's important to not squeeze you hard initially.
All right, let's go. So far so good. Let's go to the next step and see where we at. All right, next step. It says we're squeegeing. We did all that already. It's important to squeegee immediately. We did all that. Always start center. I didn't do that too much. Always start center and of the decal and work outward. I kind of got the hang of it as I was going. It says, let's go here, wet topper and re-squeegee. Let's go do that right now. This is a nice trick and will allow the decal to sit. Removing top tape paper, work slowly. Make sure the decal or stripe does not lift off the vehicle. Wetting the top tape will help you release these. Let's go do that right now. Let's go do that right now. Let's go do that right now. I think we're pretty good on there. I gotta have things in position. We're gonna re-squeegee, buddy. And maybe I overdid it there, but hey, I'm new to this. I'm learning. But I think it's important to follow instructions. Re-squeegee. It's kind of hard to work outwards here. It's better down due to the contour of the bumper itself.
From what I know now and me watching it back during the edit, you know, I just seen things that I should have done. Like, it's important to wet this. You want to wet this side, you know, heavy. Just constantly wet it because it will allow that paper to pull right off or, you know, come off on its own. That's very important as well. You guys will see it in the upcoming video how I maneuver that solution. That solution is key here. And to me here, I'm like, spray some solution as I'm editing. And I think that's important. A heavy solution.
Let's go. So be patient.
As I'm peeling this paper back here, the paper's kind of dry when it should have been wet non-stop. Even now, you know, what works well for me is to spray it heavily even while I'm peeling it back because it allows that paper to remove effortlessly. Here, it tried to come up on me in a few spots. Although I'm putting extra slow, it was trying to lift up on me when I should have just been spraying solution. That paper would have just been rolling off on its own.
Okay, I got some bubbles, and I'll tell you what happened. As you all seen, it was kind of laid perfectly. I was pulling up very slow, but I sped up a little bit, and as I was speeding up, a bubble will pull up. It will pull up the decal itself and cause a bubble. So the slower I went, the less bubbles I got. And this is very common. It tells you in instruction. We're gonna go back and see what it says on how to get them out of there. I think this is bigger than normal, but this was on perfectly, and I pulled up a little bit too hard, and it was raising a bubble up. It was lifting it was actually lifting the graphic up. So should have took it slower like I did here. A lot of these bubbles are gonna go out on their own, heat it up, but I think maybe this one's too big, or that one, or that one. I don't know. Let's go look and see what happens.
Pausing here once again just to say this should have been easy as 1, 2, 3. Very simple decal to lay out or lay down, and the lack of experience or the inexperience here, and me somewhat nervous and a little bit impatient caused these blisters or bubbles to come into play when this should have been easy. You guys are going to watch me lay out a much larger decal flawlessly coming up on the next video, but this turns out amazing. You'll see it at the end. Amazing. You won't see anything, but just want to note that.
And you get bubbles, but kind of don't get the hang of it, you know, as I on the next go round, the next thing we do, I'll pretty much probably will be dialed in somewhat. But let's go see what we can do about this. I don't want to touch it. I know a lot of these gonna go out by themselves once they get heated over time, but let's go see what do you do for that. All right, here we go. Bubbles, wrinkles. The photo shows bubbles in the 2007 Mustang Le Mans stripe near the windshield washer sprayer. Ain't as big as the ones I got. And the best way to handle this problem is to leave them alone. Over time, heating and cooling the sun removes small bubbles, small ceases, and hazy performance. So let me see what I need to do to get the larger bubbles out. All right, so we're here, and if you see, here's some advice. If there is fluid under the bubble, or if it is larger than an eraser on a pencil, you will need to use the pen method. Well, what is the pen method? It tells us over the line above it. It says if you have large bubbles, you can use a straight pen and make a hole on the edge and use a wet finger to slowly push out the air of fluid. Do this is a cool area, in a cool area, should say, out of the sun with the car too cool to the touch. So let's go do that right now. Let me get a stick pen. All right, let's do the pen trick. Let's do the pen trick. Let me wet my finger up. Let's mount the camera. Let's see to get some of these larger bubbles out. Let's start with this one. Okay.
This pen method works amazing. It does, and it's just another tool to have in your arsenal in the event you do get bubbles. It pulls them out, they become unnoticeable. You won't even tell that you used a pen there, and I'll show you all what pen I'm using, but works amazing. However, when I get to doing some of the large decals, you guys are gonna see I don't do this anymore. I'm laying them down flat out the gate, and yeah, I'm pretty confident in where I'm at. So, but this is a tool that's in the repertoire, and I love doing this because you're gonna see the end results in a second. You see the blisters there, or the bubbles. That's a little larger than the eraser head. I'll get all those out. So it got to about 90 degrees outside and the sun was beaming. So to speed up the process, here I'm just showing I got a few scuffs. I got those out in the bumper. I don't know where they came from, but they wiped right off. But I placed out in the sun and let the sun beam down on those decals, and I left it out there for a couple hours, and I'll show you guys how it looks now. But yeah, it was super hot out and the sun was beaming, so I set them out there. But as you guys see the symmetry, pretty easy decal to lay out on the back bumper. The large ones are hard. Here I'm on my way back to the building to put the bumper away because I had to leave. It had been out there for nearly 2 hours. There's just a few little small minor bubbles left in the decal, and Once I left it in the building for a few days, I'll get close-ups in videos to come. You guys are going to see it looks flawless. There's not a bubble or wrinkle inside of it right now. It looks amazing. And I'll show all that in a second. But here still had a few minor bubbles left. And I was focused on the symmetry. That's flawless. Here as well, my first decal built up some confidence. The hood built up a little bit more confidence. And now I'm where I want to be at installing these decals. So hope you found this video helpful. Stay tuned. Hit the like button. Thank you for watching. Terrence, I'm out.